This is a presentation about the e-learning system that is meant to teach the users the basics of SketchUp, which is a 3D modeling software. This e-learning system will be a guide to using SketchUp, and this is a software that's usually used by architects, interior designers, product designers, and many other fields, really construction even, to build 3D models so they can better communicate their ideas to a client or the world essentially. And out of this e-learning system, the learner will be expected to get a basic understanding of how the tools work, and they should be able to create a basic model by the end of it. The content of this system will be taken from the software itself and based on my own experience because I have been using SketchUp for quite a long time. These are the learning objectives of this e-learning system. The first is to get a basic understanding of 3D modeling. The second is to be familiar with the usage of the basic tools. The third is to create a basic model of, in this case, a house. The fourth would be to use the material library to add materials to the model. The fifth would be to create 3D text. For the implementation of this e-learning system, it starts off with a pre-test that has 7 questions, one of them being some sort of an identifier of the participant. The second would be to give some background information about the software itself, because this is a very wide and a vast software, and this system intends to touch upon only on the fundamentals of it. The fourth way this is going to be implemented is that there's an online version of SketchUp where the user can build their models. They don't really have to download an application for it. The fifth step, the users see a short demonstration video that they can follow along, and the system ends with a post-test quiz. The pre-test and post-test questions have been kept the same. This is to measure exactly how much the user has gained out of this e-learning system. The first principle that has been applied to this e-learning system is the multimedia principle. Throughout the entire system, you will find evidence of images and videos combined with text so that the user can have a multifaceted approach to learning, so that they're not reliant on one single mode of information delivery. They have options. The second is the temporal contiguity principle. This is where the text and the image are placed in close proximity so that the user knows exactly what the text is talking about, and they can make a quick correlation between the descriptor and the image. The next principle that has been applied is the redundancy principle. So in this, the video demonstration goes along with these steps that are displayed right next to it. There is no text on the video itself, and that is so that the user can make a connection between the steps they're required to perform and how they perform it through the video. The next principle that's been applied is personalization and the video principles. The video is something that I've created by myself, and I talk throughout it, and I tend to use quite informal language to communicate the steps to the user so that they're not intimidated by the content and they focus more on how best to get a result out of it. So 12 participants had signed up for the e-learning system, but only 8 of them seem to have made it until the post-test. That's after turning in their models. So my interpretation of this is that they may have been too intimidated by the work that's required by the system, and the next time I think I'm going to be increasing my sample size for this. Some of the users were kind enough to give me some feedback, and that will be explained in what else I want to do in the next slide. For further research and development, I would want to recruit a bigger sample size to work through my e-learning system. It has been suggested to me that I include video demonstrations of the tools, how they work individually. I would also want to segment the modules of learning, break it down completely so that the users can follow through step by step. The reason I didn't implement that is because I thought it would make the system too long, and I am certainly curious to know how that can be improved on. And I think it would also be a good idea to alert the user about having to actually build a model. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time.